Hey guys, good morning. It is March 10th, 2022. And today we're gonna get the truth. And I say that because it's kind of like, okay, I get it. So we're in Genesis chapter 18. We're actually gonna finish verse 10 because I split it up yesterday. So we did half of verse 10 at the ending of yesterday's passage, and then we're going to pick it up in verse 10 again, and you'll understand. So we're doing Genesis chapter 18 verse 10 through Genesis chapter 18 verse 15. We're actually going to finish this section, and you'll see why I split it up, but I'm going to reread the beginning of verse 10. So starting in verse 10, then one of them said, I will return to you about this time next year, and your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah was listening to this conversation from the tent. Abraham and Sarah were both very old by this time. Sarah was long past the age of having children, so she laughed silently to herself and said, how could a worn-out woman like me enjoy such pleasure, especially when my master, my husband, is also so old? Then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh? Why did Sarah say, can an old woman like me have a baby? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return about this time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she denied it, saying, I didn't laugh. But the Lord said, no, you did laugh. Okay, let's break this down, because this is God saying in your face, real time, this is what happens. So let's think about it. Abraham is serving these three men. He knows the Lord is there. He knows they are the Lord. So they say, or this man says, Sarah is going to have a baby. Sarah now is not where Abraham is. Sarah's in the tent. And so Sarah chuckles to herself and says, that's impossible. Yet God proves that he knows all. This moment is the moment where God shows us no matter where we are, he knows what we're doing. No matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, he sees and knows what we are doing. Because he calls Sarah out. He said, why does she laugh? Now remember, she's in the tent. They are near the tree. And I don't know the exact distance, but it says that she laughed silently. So it wasn't a, full gut laugh, loudly. It's quiet. It's a quiet laugh. Yet, the Lord questions Abraham on why she was doing this. And not only that, but he questions what she says. And I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to be really quiet, I'm going to whisper. I'm not going to say it at my loudest booming voice. I'm going to try to whisper or kind of mumble under my breath. And that's what I feel like Sarah's doing here, is that she's mumbling under her breath. But yet the Lord tells Abraham, he knows exactly what she's saying. He knows exactly what she's doing. And he questions Abraham on this. Well, that scares Sarah, because how is this possible? And so she denies it. She's like, I didn't do that. What are you talking about? And the Lord comes back with, I know you did. Point blank. Like, there's no, going around the bush or beating around the bush or whatever that saying is. He point blank looks at Sarah and says, yes, you did. Calling you out right now. But the other part of this is that the Lord says, what is too hard for me? What is too hard for me to do? I created the world. Remember, God created the world by just speaking it. Just poof. Sky. the whales, you know, like all that stuff. He just spoke it into existence. He created humans. He created us with his hands in his image. I mean, he can do anything. And he's questioning Abraham and saying, why does she think that giving her a son is difficult for me? If I can create the world, if I can make it so that, you know, so there's fish in the sea and there's clouds in the sky and, you know, there's land and water. If I can do all that, if I can create a giant flood, because remember, I do honestly believe that Abraham and his people know about Noah. So God's in essence saying to Abraham, if I can do all this, if I can flood the earth, if I can do whatever, why is she questioning if I can create this baby? If I can make this happen? And if we think about that in our own lives, it's kind of silly, to be honest with you. It's silly. And I do it all the time. God will say something to me and I'm like, that's impossible. There's no way that can happen. Do you understand the logistics? And I explain it to God on why it's impossible. And I forget that God knows all, sees all, and creates all. He knows our past, present, and future. So he knows it's not impossible, but I'm sitting here with my human mind and my human logic and all that stuff, and I'm not omnipotent. I know I said that word wrong, but I think you know what I'm saying. I don't know what's coming up. I don't know what's happening a month from now. I mean, I have a general idea because, you know, I write down appointments, but I really don't know moment by moment what's going to happen. God does. And that's the thing that makes me wonder is why we question what he can do. Why are we putting him in this box? And that's what Sarah's doing. Sarah's putting him in a box and saying, check what is going on here. I'm old. Abraham's old. I'm way past childbearing. So really, like, you can't, this is impossible. So she's putting God in this box. And God is saying, remember what I can do? Remember what I'm capable of? Do you not remember creation? Do you not remember the flood? Do you not remember any of this? And it makes Sarah scared. It says Sarah was afraid. And that's the thing we need to remember. God is the God of impossibilities. God can make whatever happen. So why do we question it? Why do we sit there and put him in a box? Even when we don't understand, he does. And this also shows that God knows where we are. He always does. He never leaves us. So he can be with Abraham, but he can also be with Sarah. So he knows what Abraham's doing, but he also knows what Sarah's doing. You know, and even when he's a father and he, you know, point blank says, no, you did this, just like we do with our kids. No, I saw you. I know you did this, so don't deny it. He's also Yahweh, personal to us. I bet he knows that Sarah's like, I can't do this. I can't have a baby. And she probably wanted one because back then, having children was very important. And not that it's not now, but that was their security. So I bet Sarah wanted a child, but she didn't want to believe something that seemed impossible. So here's my question to you. What box are you putting God in? What are you trying to explain to God to prove to him that it's illogical that it's going to happen? And where do you see that God sees you? Because remember, God was with Abraham and God was with Sarah in the tent. She didn't know that. That's why she laughed. But he was there. So where is he seeing you? Where is he with you right now? And where can you rely on him even if it seems impossible? I hope today you see Jesus in everything you do. And I hope you see God's promise all around you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.